Hi, thanks for checking out our channel. Here's going to be a possibly repair video on an old style Gallagher unit. This is called a Gallagher MPE2. This is Snell was a distributor for Gallagher back in the 70s and 80s. Somewhere in the late 80s, early 90s, Snell went away because they're having trouble financially, and Gallagher came in and said, hey, you're not doing a good enough job, we're going to take this over and we're going to do it ourselves. So it's still Gallagher product. This Snell was the main distributor here in the States back in the day when they first came to the United States back in the early mid 70s. But yeah, this is an MPE2. This unit was made from about 83, 84 all the way to about 88, 89, and then 1990 was not, I don't think was around anymore. A lot of the parts of these are long gone. We retrofit transformers in them. We got capacitors that'll work in them. Boards, don't have new boards, but we can sometimes repair the old boards that are inside these. Output boards we still got. They're used on other models as well, but we've got some of those here in stock. But this is not a very high voltage unit. It's probably around a 2-3 joule unit, give or take. Voltage wise, it peaked at around, with the factory settings on the inside with parts, about 4,000 to 5,000 volts is all it would ever put out max. But with the same kind of load on it, you don't lose about 1,000 volts with a standard load on it. So still had a pretty potent little punch to it. Old school, very, very, very reliable. These things are, the 35, almost 40-year-old units now, and it's not older, probably was around before that, over in New Zealand, Australia, and also, ooh, look at that. Bunch of dead bugs. Let me go clean that out real quick. Dumped it somewhere. Okay, so we're gonna get into this, see if we can get it figured out. Very crude, old school unit, but old school reliability. There's just a lot less digital gizmos on the board, less working parts for, component wise for things to go bad. Let's just plug it in, see what it does, see if it clicks or does anything at all. Let's turn the light off so we can see if the lights glow or not. There's a bulb here that should light up. If it's the factory bulb, should light up green. It's kind of burnt out, so it may only partially glow. And this light should flash red with every time it clicks. It's burned out, but we should still be able to see it glow or something. Alright, the green power light comes on but will not click. Okay, so I gotta do a little checking on it. Now, Gallagher themselves don't even want to touch these old ones. They just rather sell you a new one. And there's the only model, unless you drop down smaller, would be like M360 or M560. And M360 is $250, $225, I don't know. And the 560 is over 300. So this is probably like $150, $180 a unit back in its day, I would guess. So price has basically doubled since then. Let's check this capacitor first. This is a 30 microfarad, so I'm just going to go across it. See if we get any kind of reading out of it all. It says 34.8, but let's trace this wire here. I'm going to unplug the wire that feeds over to the board. This wire does too, so I'm going to plug this wire. I'm going to turn this light back on so I can see better. It is getting power. It is lighting up. Alright, see if make sure that we weren't getting any kind of interference from the main board. 28.2, 28.3. So the capacitors, I don't know if it's original or not, likely not, but you never know. I don't know if the capacitor's got a charge built up in it or not, but I'm going to treat it like it does. That way it doesn't bite me on accident. Let's pull this board out. Oops. Let's test the primary side of the transformer, make sure it's good. Should ohm out between 0.1 and 0.9. 0.1. So the primary is fine. So our problem's in the main board. Okay, so it could be, I mean, the board looks fine. I mean, looking at it looks fine. But it's probably the original board to it. I mean, maybe it's been replaced. I don't know. See, there's a date on this. Nope, there's a sticker right there. It's legible. March 14th, 1988. So, what's that, 35 years old? Probably one of the last years I made them. I think 88, 89 is when they stopped making this model. Phased it out and came out with like an M400 or something like that in the 90s. Well, let's do problems in this board. So let's just start going through and checking some stuff. We'll check the two big resistors here, the big white ones. Like this first, looks like they're both 27 ohm resistors. They look fine, but let's test them, make sure that they're fine. 27.1. 27.4. There's 1, 2 little diodes. There's little black things here, so we'll check the diodes here. That's good. That's good. Handful of resistors. There's a small capacitor, big capacitor. There's a MOV protection piece right there. They look fine, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. Let's check this little SER right here. Check the outside legs first. Should be a solid beep. Maybe not. All right. Let's just go from pin to pin. Reverse it. I have a problem with that. Alright, let's check this small capacitor out at the 2 microfarad. So we're going to flip over the back. These are not electrolytic, so there's no polarity to it. Reading 2 on the dot. And there's this little yellow one here. It looks good. It is a I don't know. I can't quite read that one, so I'm just going to test it and see if it comes up anywhere close to what that number. Yeah, I thought it was a 1 microfarad. It says it's 1.6, 1.5, whatever. Microfarads, that says 1, so it's a little off, but I don't think it's off enough to where it won't run. There's this little transistor right here. Let's check some resistors here. Let's see. Brown, black, brown. That's 101. That's a, is that 10 ohm? 100 ohm. Yeah, 100 ohm. Orange, white, orange. Oh, I don't know. Orange. I can't remember all my. You don't use your resistor color code stuff very often. You lose it. So I got this handy dandy little cheat sheet here for resistors. Always, because like I said, you don't use it, you lose it. It's like orange, white, orange. Looks like it should be 39,000 ohms. Is that right? That's orange, white, orange. That's a bit off. Oh, these are those fancier 5-band resistors. I don't know. Mine doesn't do that. Brown, black, yellow. Ooh, brown, black, yellow. 100K. That's what shows up on there. Brown, black, green. It's probably 1,000,000 ohms. Brown, black, green. But 800,000? That's an odd one. You know, 900,000, so pretty darn close. And that one says red, red, blue. Oh, that wasn't. This was brown. Yeah, 1,000,000 ohms. So we were close. That's the brown. Is that a different color? Brown, black. Yeah, 1,000,000 ohms. And then we'll go red, red, blue. 2.2 million ohms. Okay, so those three resistors are good. Brown, black, red. That's 1,000 ohms, I think. Is that brown? God, I should remember this. They don't do. Yeah, 1,000 ohms. That's reading 164 ohms. So I think what we might want to try to do is change up the resistor first. Might even see if we can find the orange. Orange, white, orange. So 1,000 ohms. Something else. Let's get resistors out here. They're not very big resistors physically, so quarter watt resistor should be fine. I got a quarter watt resistor kit here. So we need 1,000 ohms. Does it carry 1,000? Should. That's a pretty common resistor to have. No, it doesn't. Does this one have 1,000 ohm? Yeah, 1,000 and 39,000. This one, it's gonna have at least 1,000 ohm in it. Just gotta find it. These are like a 1 watt resistor kit. Has a few of each resistors in it that are pretty semi-common sizes. As long as we can, we haven't pulled out here already. That's 100 ohm. That's 5K, so we always put, no, not that. 1K ohm. There's 1K right there. And then we need like 39K, but looks like the closest one that comes there is 47. So what we could do, oops, is I've got some 10K ohm 10K ohm resistors right there. We could take 4 of those in series and solder them all together and put in the place of that one. I think we can try that first, and then we plug it in and see what happens. We may still end up having to change out that SCR there. Well, let's get the desolder braid over here. And so we want to take off solder joint here. wonder if that lead was going to be skinny enough to fit down inside that side. That looks like it will. Let's check that real quick. Make sure it is a 1K resistor. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, that's 1K, so we'll go ahead and solder that in. Okay, and now we have that little one right there, so we'll pull that out. That's a 39K ohm resistor. What a kind of oddball size that is. And we're going to put 40K in its place, because that's what I can make work here without special ordering that one resistor, that one size resistor, and wait for that stuff to show up. This we'll take 4 of these, a whole big bunch of these 10K ohm resistors. We use them on other stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to solder 4 of those in series. That'll make 40K ohm. Alright, I'm going to get my second-hand helper thing over here. Alright, we're going to twist them together real close, and we'll go ahead and solder those in the middle there. It's going to look kind of wonky, but electrically it'll be fine. Take another resistor, we'll clip it over here. And then we'll get them all. Come on. Twist them real close up together. Right there. Where's the last one at? There it is. Like this one, we'll twist it together. And then we'll solder it. And we'll snip off the excess. And now let's test across here from end to end and see if we get 40 ohms for 40K ohms. 39.9K. Okay, set that down. Got the resistor pulled out of there, so now we're going to take this big clumped up batch of resistors here. Leave them together in the middle. And we'll bend the legs down like that. Plug it in here. It's not. I'll have to make sure it stays secure where we want it to. Alright, we'll solder that in there. I have a feeling we're probably going to have to change out that SCR though. The bigger one. Yeah, I just bit and broke anyways. Alright, well, I had a feeling that was it felt kind of weak when I moved it. Like, I bet that thing's broken. That might have been all that's wrong, but those resistors were definitely way off what they're supposed to be. So now we gotta desolder. And pull those little leftover leads off there. Come on. Over and get in there, just pull all of them out. All right, still a little bit on this one here. Okay, let's see if I'm fine. That's the SCR we're going to use. Bend the middle leg out some. That hopefully, right, these have got to bend out some as well. Come on. All right, let's solder this on there. Alright, let's hope that we did our job right. And this is all that's wrong with it. Okay. Alright, let's turn this, plug this in here. Turn the power strip on. pull some. Okay, so maybe it's this little doodad right there. I think I've got some of those, the exact same one. Let me pull my little bin out here and take a peek. There we go. Little one. There is a different SCR I could put in there in case that's not the right type. There's so many variations of them things. I could have the wrong one installed and just and not realize it. Because the number that was on there, I don't have any of those. Now, if this doesn't fix it, we're going to have to probably pull the SCR that we just put on there, the big one, and we'll try a different one on there. Alright, gotta get more solder off there because the leads didn't pull all the way off and all the way it broke from the little device. Come on. There we go. Okay, so went in with the back middle leg towards the back, so we bend that out and down. Oops. Plug that in there. Solder it in. There it goes. The bulb ain't lighting up like it was before, but now it's clicking. Not sure why the bulb's not lighting up anymore, but it was earlier. Maybe I bumped something and broke the bulb. Bulbs, I guess this finally burnt out. Alright. Let me turn this unit off for a second. Let me go grab another bulb. We need to replace both that bulb and this bulb, so give me just a minute here. Okay, I got a couple bulbs here, one for there, one for there. So, well, unit's going again, but that, for whatever reason, that little bulb finally not working. It was working earlier, but if I put another bulb on the back side of it, the new bulb lights up. So for some reason, that bulb finally went kaput. Helps if I had the right tool. Alright, let's desolder the light bulbs off of this board and the other board. So we've technically are on the home stretch. Got this unit up and running again. Alright, let's see if these bulbs will come out of there. Oh, that's why the lead was broke. It burnt off. There was just barely, as you can see, kind of burnt right there. You probably can't see it. But right at the tip of that lead, it was broken or burnt. And that's why that bulb stopped working. I don't know if I bumped it or was this... I was on this last leg anyways, who knows. But it's gone now. It's being replaced. This one's definitely seen better days. It's all black. It was lighting up, but you could barely see it. So take one of these red bulbs here, we'll put it in place. That clear one that flashes red, we'll put a red one in its place. Solder it in here in a second, and we'll take another green neon bulb, we'll put it in here. Alright, so now, solder that on there. And we'll go over here and solder this one here. Looks good. So now we're going to snip off the excess that we don't need off the old leads. Slide. Oh, come on. Put our tester across here. We should be getting about, like I said, between 4,000 and 5,000 volts. All right, where it's supposed to be, right about 4,000 or about 5,000 volts roughly. That's perfect. That's what this one was designed to do. That's what That's what it puts out voltage wise. One of the probably lowest voltage ones they ever made, but it still shoots a good spark. Wasn't the hardest hitting unit, but I ain't touching it. Alright, well this one's been brought back from the dead. Hopefully to live run another 10, 20, 35 years. That one took a little while. Alright, well, thanks for watching my video here. Subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button. And here's our information about us. There are links down in the description below on our videos. To our links to our websites and stuff. Remember to tell your friends about us. Until next time, see you later on.